Freddie,
Oh, here we
if
go.
Mike Krzyzewski, if Mike Krzyzewski was a young coach nowadays, there's no way he would have had the career that Mike Krzyzewski did. Go back and look at his record the early years at Duke. And being a head coach takes a minute. And when you try to do it in New York and you work for the Jets or the Giants, and I certainly have experiences there, it's difficult. And we got to remember this. Joe Judge was on the precipice of being a head coach at Mississippi State, and that context is really important, and here's why. If I'm the Maras and the Tisches, and I identify this bright young coach that we really believe in, but we think it's going to take some time to develop him, but you believed in your process and you believed in what you saw a year and a half ago, why would you derail that now? Why would you invest in him? Worst case scenario for the New York Giants, Freddie, isn't to have Joe Judge fail as the New York Giants head coach. The worst case scenario for them is him to fail there and then be great someplace else. And I'm going to make a comparison here, and just give me a second. I work for Bill Belichick in Cleveland, and look, let's face it, has he changed and evolved? Of course he has, to a certain extent. We all do. But a lot of the fundamental principles that he talks about in New England, he talked about in 1995 with the Cleveland Browns. And my point is this. Joe Judge, in my opinion, has a chance to be a really good head coach. The record doesn't show it right now. But if you give up on Joe Judge today, Freddie, and he goes to Team X next year or the year after, and he goes on this great run, boy, will the Giants look back and regret that.
Mike Tannenbaum and Freddie Coleman, part of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80 and ESPN2, giving you straight talk broadcast, straight talk wireless. I hate to be that dude, Mike, but I'm completely 100% with you. And that's why I think if you gave me a choice between which GM head coaching job is better, I'm going to choose the Chicago Bears over the New York Giants, and here's why. Because I'm with you. I believe in Joe Judge as a head coach. I've never believed in Dave Gettleman as a general manager. And he's continued to prove it time and time again. I'm not saying the general manager's job is easy, because you got so many things you have to deal with. Where you got to deal with coaches, you got to deal with the draft, you got to deal with free agency. But we've seen a lot more misses than hits. You got to deal
with, and Freddie, you got to deal with unreasonable people in the media.
Well, yeah, clowns named Freddie Coleman, for example, that are completely unreasonable when it comes to your job status and your job security. So, yeah, especially in New York, and Mike, you know this, where no matter what you do is going to be magnified. If you make a great decision, they're going to say it's the greatest decision since Vince Lombardi was named coach of the Green Bay Packers. If you make a terrible decision, they put you in the Ray Handley category, especially when it comes to the New York Giants. So I clearly understand that landscape can really kind of mess with your mind and mess with your operations at times. But I'm with you on Joe Judge, because I think he has the ability to be a really good head coach. But when, not if, when you move on from the general manager to the New York Giants, then you got to have Joe Judge as part of the process where these two guys can be on the same page. If you try to do like 90-Day Fiancé with a GM and a head coach, it's not going to work. You got to make sure that the coach and general manager are on the same page. That's why I look at Chicago Bears. I like Justin Fields, the quarterback. But whoever you bring in, it can't just be a coach and Ryan Pace. It's got to be somebody else and somebody else as a head coach and general manager. And I'd rather trust that with a Justin Fields whose potential is a lot better than a Daniel Jones, who I still have questions about.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. You know, here's the frustrating thing about Daniel Jones, Freddie, is you just want to see progress. Like, no one's expecting perfection, but I'll tell you what, like the other night when he throws that interception to the defensive lineman, like that can't happen. Like, you can understand an overthrow, or, you know, some receiver runs a route a little short of the sticks and you're frustrated. But those are outcome determinative plays in the game. We saw him at Duke, and they haven't gotten better. And he needs to understand that he's holding the lives of everybody in that franchise when he throws the ball. Like, ball security is the most important thing. And you just can't make a play like that. Like, there are some mistakes that are acceptable. That's not one of them. I think Justin Fields has a massive ceiling. And if you said, hey, Daniel Jones or Justin Fields, I'm going Fields. The hard part about this conversation of, like, which team has a better future, I actually think the skill players that the Giants have, when healthy, is really good. And I would have a tough time walking away from that. Here's a fascinating stat. When Saquon Barkley plays, they average 82 yards more in the passing game, Freddie. So that just shows you how explosive he can be, not just running, but in the receiving game. And you think about Ingram, Sterling Shepard, and Galladay. And by the way, Kadarius Toney, I think, has a chance to be a really good player. You're talking about a group of 6 or 7 skill players that's really hard to match up with. We just talked about Minnesota with Thielen and Jefferson. Mm-hmm. I think the Giants have even more depth than that. So if they could just get middle-of-the-road consistency from Daniel Jones, I think this team would look a lot different.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.